Now let's get into the good stuff, huh?
What's the good stuff?
Wouldn't you like to know? Hi, I'm Osterberg, and welcome back to Backdoor Sluts 3.
I can't even speak.
Wow, I already got pretty nervous. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It is lunch on me. All you have to do is like this video, comment down below, and I will choose one lucky winner to send $50 to for a quick lunch on me. Let's get in the video. Yeah. This is a really spicy episode. I don't usually do this.
Yeah, I didn't think you did.
This isn't my regular
Why
content.
did you choose to do this episode?
I don't know. I just felt like it was kind of on brand with you. Here we go.
Elaborate on why you thought it was on brand with me first.
Well, because you're just the group slew. Anyways, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Season 2, Episode 4, What Women Want in Bed. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Troy Talks a Lot. Sitting beside me is my co-host,
Kristina Kane.
You're ready. You have a whole bunch of questions or pointers. I don't know what that is.
No questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Season 2, Episode 4, What Women Want in Bed. I honestly want to drink for this one, but I'm not drinking for a couple weeks.
I wish we would have. You don't have wine. I looked.
You looked? You already stocked my fridge?
Yeah, I looked. You don't have any alcohol because like it would have just, I just would have been.
You might want to get a little tipsy for this episode, so pour up a nice glass of Chardonnay because it is going to get spicy on Troy Talks a Lot. I feel like I should say After Dark.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
Yeah, you should make like a spin-off series.
Well, let's just get it started, Kristina Kane, because apparently a lot of guys don't really know what women want in bed. Start us off. What do women want in bed?
Okay, first and foremost, I think when women meet men, it's one thing if they're super attractive physically.
Okay.
And obviously that draws your eye towards someone.
Okay.
Why are you looking at me
I don't know.
that? Like obviously you're first physically attracted to someone. But I think for women, it's also really important for there to be a mental stimulation and a connection. Like, and I'm not saying you have to know the person for 2-3 weeks and they have to pick your mind and you pick their mind, but just even having like banter at the bar, like there's a mental turn on because there's banter at the bar and it's not just like, oh, like a hot body that you're gonna hook up with. There's like, because women, it's more mental. Like I feel like men can sleep with anything and everything, like, and they can get off on it, but women, in order to really enjoy it, there has to be more than just physical attraction. There has to be like mental stimulation and connection. Physical looks probably gets our attention at first, and yes, we can hook up with someone just purely because they're hot, but what do we want in bed? We obviously want to enjoy it to the max potential that we can, so therefore there's a little bit of banter, maybe there's a really good conversation, like it turns our minds on, so then that turns it on in the bedroom even more. I mean, I think it's different for all females. Like everyone's in a different chapter in their book. Some girls are purely just looking to like hook up and have fun, and they really could care less if they have,
and by all means have fun, like do your thing. And they could care less if they have a connection with the guy. But in order for it to be enhanced, I feel like having a mental connection helps. So when I meet somebody, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I've had my fun. As you should, Kane. As you should. But I feel like if I'm at a bar and I meet somebody because I'm in a different place in my life, it doesn't necessarily interest me just to hook up with somebody just because they're hot. Because if you're hooking up with them just because they're hot, looks fade. And I don't even mean after like 20 years of being with someone. If you're seeing them every other day, you're going on dates, you're hanging out, you're hooking up, you're waking up in their bed, you're going to get used to seeing them. And if that's the only thing that's keeping you in that situationship or relationship, then that's not going to be something that lasts. So me, I mean, if I meet a guy at a bar and there's like banter and he makes me laugh and he's really witty, then he goes up so much higher than the guy who's just hot. Okay, so what if a guy isn't as hot but he has great banter? I prefer that. Personally, I prefer that. Okay, so let's play a little game. You have an 8 out of 10 at the bar. Okay, great looking guy, 6'4", 8 out of 10. Banter is like a 4 out of 10 versus a guy who's a 6 out of 10, but his banter is like a 9 out of 10. Personally, for me, I can't speak for every female, but if a guy is super hot at a bar, but he's just kind of more arrogant and full of himself, and he's not bantering and he's not being funny, then it's probably a little bit of a dry conversation. So personally, I prefer the guy that's a 6, but is really making me laugh, is being super witty, is bantering back and forth, can keep up with my sarcastic remarks and gives it right back to me.
Okay.
Look at Pete Davidson.
That's what I was about to say. And listen, there's nothing wrong with the guy. There's nothing wrong with the guy. But how about this? Since it's just right on brand, is Kylie Jenner, who could basically get anyone in this entire world. Timothy Chalamet.
I think he's adorable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's something about them.
But like, let's be honest. If he wasn't as successful as he is, and I'm not hating. I'm not hating at all.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
I just don't think like that guy would have the reach that he does.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if Timothy wasn't Timothy and Pete wasn't Pete, then I don't think they'd be pulling who they're pulling. But like, I mean, Pete's so funny. I don't know if like you've seen videos of him. Like he's really funny.
He's definitely funny. So like, I understand why women are just like, you know, I love Pete, even though he looks like he's just part of The Walking Dead. And I love Pete Davidson. I love him to death, as opposed to someone like Jacob Elordi. Like everybody loves that guy.
Jacob Elordi is like, because girls, for whatever reason, you know, he plays such bad boys characters, so it's like that bad boy that's just gonna like destroy your world.
Oh wow. Actually, Jacob Elordi, if you're listening, man, Kristina Kane,
he's in a relationship.
Oh, JK, I take that back. When has that ever stopped anyone in Los Angeles?
It doesn't stop anyone, but I respect it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I respect it.
Don't be a homewrecker. Anyways, okay, so I think that we could both agree, and most people can agree, that like women are a lot more emotionally connected, whereas men are much more physically connected. I'm not saying that men are just going to go out and hook up with anything they see.
But some do.
But I think you could say the same thing about a girl.
Totally.
Some women do the same thing, so it takes two to tango. Beyond the physical and emotional connection, once it comes time for the good stuff,
the act,
the eating of the forbidden fruit, the, like I say, touching heels with Jesus, the plowing the old railroad.
Is that what you say when you're like going to hook up with a girl? You're like, let me eat that gumdrop button.
No, I'm going to start saying that though.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Or like, let me touch heels with your Jesus.
Yeah, I usually do say that. That's a good one. That always turns them on pretty quickly. What does Cardi B say? Would park that Big Mac truck.
Oh, yeah.
This little garage.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, you understand. When it comes time for the good stuff, what do women want in bed?
This is not something that we need to delve deep into because I think it's kind of a given, but it needs to be stated because I think men and women need to remember this.
Yeah, listen up, men.
Hygiene and like grooming.
Agreed.
I think that you can totally ruin a mood if like you're not super hygienic and things are just a little messy. Because me as a woman, I don't want to sleep with you. And then if it was a guy, I don't think he'd want to sleep with the female if it like wasn't the most pleasant situation as you're getting undressed. Let's say you're walking into the bedroom right now and you're making out and you're taking off each other's clothes. Like that's like one of the first things you're going to notice. Okay. Someone's hygiene. I think you can even notice it when you're kissing someone. Hygiene's important. Then as the gumdrop is starting to evolve, foreplay. I think so many guys just jump the gun and just get straight to the act.
I agree.
And especially for females, as it goes back to like they kind of need more of that mental stimulation. They're not just, you know, like ready to go. Like obviously like they can be, but I think foreplay, it just makes it that much enjoyable.
Much more enjoyable.
It makes it that more enjoyable. What did I say?
That much more enjoyable. You got it.
Okay, yeah. Anyways,
makes it more enjoyable.
It makes it more enjoyable. Yeah. It also like makes the act more enjoyable for females because it allows their body to get like excited and warm up. So it's I think
you're warming them up.
But so many people just get straight to the chase, and occasional quickie. Then you're going to get straight to the chase, but when it's not that and you have time, why jump the gun and just get straight to the act? You know, indulge in the moment.
As you should, but a lot of guys get too excited and they're just like, oh shit, like I can't wait to just fuck something, you know?
No, I know.
And that's the problem is like taking your time and teasing the girl is like so much more exhilarating and like turns them on so much quicker than just diving right into it and just being like,
it makes it more enjoyable for the female. Like if there's foreplay involved, then once you actually are sleeping together or whatever, I don't know if you can cuss on here.
No, you can.
Oh, okay. I didn't know like what like the audience is.
No, yeah, you can cuss. Just don't be like, oh, fucking shit, bitch.
Okay. Yeah, like so once you actually like get to like fucking, then it's like the woman is gonna enjoy it so much more because she's already mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically connected to it because there was foreplay involved. Obviously, a guy doesn't need that to enjoy, you know, having sex with someone. So I think foreplay is super important. Obviously, there's circumstances where it's not gonna happen, like a quickie in a dressing room.
Yeah.
But
exciting.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Don't worry, we're gonna get there. But yeah, foreplay, indulge in the moment. Just, you know, don't rush anything because that makes it that much enjoyable for, I think, for both people.
Does the foreplay almost act as like a meter or a gauge of like getting to a certain point where a girl like allows herself to kind of like let loose?
Are you saying does she have a more like a higher chance of like orgasm?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I guess is what I was saying. I don't know why I'm making this so PG.
I was like, that's why I asked if we can cuss on here.
No,
like,
yeah, you can.
I was like, I don't know like what your deal is. My deal's definitely like everything goes.
Yeah.
So yes, and you're probably gonna want to chop this up, but I'm gonna give it to you straight, and then you can take what you want from this.
No, it's fine.
But if you're like, you know, if she's getting like eaten out, or if she's like getting fingered, or like and like the clit and everything's just being stimulated and whatnot, then when they actually get to like having sex, like she's already kind of aroused and turned on. So it's almost like easier for her to like peak and like orgasm because there's been prior stimulation, as opposed to like if she's just being fucked, like there's nothing rubbing her I mean, unless she's like going in with her hand.
Yeah.
But yes, I think like foreplay actually increases her enjoyment and a man's performance.
I totally agree. My next question is, how long should the foreplay last versus the actual sex?
I think that will be different.
It's different for everyone.
Yeah.
It's different for everyone because I have my answer. I'm just curious to know what yours is.
Oh, okay. I mean, the situation determines it also. Like I was saying, if we're doing certain locations, obviously, like certain things can't last long. The bedroom, like it's comfortable. We have time. Cool.
Yeah, you have time.
That's my birth control. I think like I don't really have a hard set number.
Okay, let's just say hypothetically speaking, if you have an hour, how long should the foreplay be and how long should the sex be?
I feel like 20 minutes is good foreplay because it's like making out, then it's like undressing.
You expect a dude to fully just...
No, not
for 40 minutes.
No, I don't.
We're about to wrap this episode up early. 40 minutes.
I don't mean, dude. I don't even have. I can't remember the last time I've had 40 minutes. Okay. Like I'm just saying that it's like okay, like the making out and then the different things you can do. I don't think there's any straight answer for me. I mean, what's your answer? Clearly, you have one. I don't have a hard set stone answer.
First tier is like making out, undressing for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I'd say like the foreplay should last for like 35 minutes.
Okay. You're like 49 minutes.
Yeah, 49 minutes, 36 seconds, and 2 milliseconds.
Yeah.
I feel like 20 minutes of getting after it, pausing, switching it up, maybe going down, coming back up, pull out, take your time, switch around, make out for a little bit.
Some guys can't last 20 minutes, Troy.
Yes, and I'm not saying I'm a sex god either, but I'm saying if you really want to last a little bit longer, pull out, do other things, make out a little bit, switch them around, maybe have a laugh, maybe go get a mimosa, come on back, do it again. They don't know the difference. As long as you got the foreplay involved, you are winning at life. If you get the girl off during foreplay, do you also need to get her off during sex?
I don't think so.
Because a lot of guys can't. And given a lot of guys can't because a lot of girls just can't either,
it's much more challenging.
Does getting off through foreplay versus sex, is that a different experience? Does it feel different or any better?
For me personally, I feel like I enjoy it equally.
Okay, so one is not better than the other.
No, not really. No, I feel like the peak feels both the same, whether it's like he's in between my legs or like he's inside of me.
Because I feel like with guys, they think like the holy grail is the full-on penetration.
Yeah, but they're so wrong.
unless there's like also clit stimulation while there's being penetration.
Sure, which I think is the best of both worlds.
Right, but not everyone. Like some people, it's just like some girls aren't confident enough to like play with themselves, and some guys aren't confident enough to just be like reach around and you know what I mean. So then it's just purely penetration for a female. So therefore, then I would say the foreplay is more enjoyable. If it's penetration and like you're playing with yourself or he is or whatnot, then that's great. But otherwise, I think it's just like. What are you smirking about? What are these questions you're thinking
of? Are guys good at sex? I'm so curious. Like, I really am so curious because I feel like all I ever hear is, oh, yeah, he was so great. He was so great. He was so great.
Who are you talking to and who are they sleeping with? Because
Because you're trying to find out?
Yeah.
Like, you want me to give you some numbers?
Yeah, like, what the hell?
How often are you just like, dude, what are you doing?
Often.
Really?
Often.
Wow.
And that actually brings me to my next bullet point.
That makes me feel great.
Communication.
Huge.
Yeah, look at that transition. That worked really well. So that brings me to communication because, I mean, a lot of females are and men are, vocal about if, they're in the right area when they're in between your legs or if they're in the position, maybe they don't like it. And like both parties are vocal about it. Some people aren't vocal about it and, are more quiet, whether it's a girl and, he's not really in the right area. She's like trying to just like move her hips around to get him in the right area, but doesn't want to say anything. Or like the guy, maybe it's really not that enjoyable for him. So I think that communication and having the confidence to communicate, because especially when you just first start hooking up with somebody, you're not going to know like what they like, how they like this, and what way they like this done. You're not going to know that right away, and everybody's different. Sex is so subjective. Everyone is different when it comes to what they like, their needs, wants, desires. So when you first start hooking up with somebody, you don't know someone's body. You don't know what they like. You don't know what gets them off. You don't know what turns them off. So I think communication is so important because then it's a pleasurable experience for both you and the other person involved because you're communicating, oh, I like this. No, I don't like that so much. So I think communication, if you really want to have an enjoyable experience for both parties, I think don't be afraid to communicate what you like and don't like.
Communication is key. But given with that, I feel communication and confidence comes with maturity. So I feel like a lot of girls who are fairly new to sex don't necessarily have that confidence to tell a guy like, hey, this is what I like, or oh, you're not hitting this right, or do this, do that, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. I feel like as women mature, and men as well, you're more confident in being vocal and saying what you do and don't like. I love when a girl is vocal. It just helps us out.
Totally.
So ladies, just be vocal. Like, don't be afraid of telling a guy what you want or what you don't want. It only helps us out in the long run because there's nothing worse than like going down on someone and you're down there for like
you're like in the totally
15.
wrong area.
Yeah, you're down there and like I'm not down in the wrong area, but like maybe you're just not hitting a certain spot as much as they wanted. So you're down there for like 10-15 minutes and your arm starts cramping up and then your jaw gets like all tired and you're like, fuck man, like I can't stop now because I feel like she's almost there, but like
she's not.
So just be vocal and be like a little more left, harder, slower, less, more, whatever it might be, because one, it helps you, and two, it helps us.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I mean, you can speak from a male's perspective about a female being vocal, but for me, if a guy's vocal of like, yeah, I really like when you do that or this, like that's sexy, that's hot, like that he's so like he's communicating like what he likes. And I feel like if a girl is communicating what she likes, like that's kind of hot.
Yeah. There's nothing worse than just having sex like this.
Just, yeah. It's just quiet.
Shh. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay, next. Communication is key. Next on your agenda, on your cell phone.
On my itinerary?
Yeah.
I love when a man takes initiative and is really assertive and dominant, and he just takes charge. Because I feel like females that are very strong, outspoken, assertive, like myself, even though I have kind of like a male alpha energy, at the end of the day, like I just want to be dominated. And even like Little Miss Sunshine, who seems like she's like Miss America, doe-eyed and innocent and sweet, she wants to be dominated.
She wants to just get absolutely taken to town.
Yes, she does. And you may think, oh, she's so soft and gentle, let me nurture her and make slow, sweet love to her. It's like, no. Like
I feel like there's a time and place, though. There is a time when you make love.
Totally.
And a time where you just get absolutely railed to the point where you're just like, wow, that was so hot, and just like you said, dominating, where you're just like, that was sexy.
Yeah, no, it's all about variety. I'm not saying every single time you should be getting dominated and just railed. It's definitely all about variety. Like sometimes
Get to the point.
It's all about variety, obviously, and sometimes it's like sweet love making.
Sweet, passionate love making. Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah, sometimes it's sweet love making, and it's a time and a place, and it calls for that, and it's deep, and it's slow, and it's passionate. But then sometimes, you know, we want to be dominated. We want you to take control of us.
How do we know if you want to either be dominated or...
I think you can tell in the kissing stages, honestly. Okay. I think if the kissing's more like gentle and sweet and like nibbling and like kissing on the neck and like, you know, more slow and passionate, then it's probably going to lead to a more like deep, passionate love. Okay. But I think if there's like lip biting, hair pulling, and like scratching of the back, I think that's going to be more of...
It's firing me up. Gotta put that down real quick. Hold on.
Okay, spontaneous locations.
Love this.
Okay.
Love this.
So I think a lot of people get stuck in the routine of like doing it in the bed at night or in the morning.
Which is nice. You can't go wrong.
But there's so many amazing, fun places you can have sex. I've done it in some crazy places.
Like where? Where's the craziest place you've had sex?
Well, there's a few.
Okay.
So,
are you part of the Mile High Club?
Yeah.
Shut up.
I am.
In the bathroom or like on the seat?
In the bathroom.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How was that?
It was really hot.
Okay. Like hot or like temperature wise?
I was sweating wet. Like it was hot. So
yeah, you were.
Yeah. So I think that spontaneous locations is really important because it keeps things exciting. It keeps things fresh.
It keeps it youthful.
Yeah. Like, you know, a lot of people get bored in their sex life and it hasn't even been a year into the relationship. And it's like, well, because you're not doing anything to keep it exciting. Like, you know, fuck in the shower, fuck in the car, do it in a department, like, what are they called? Dressing rooms.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the dressing room. Have you done it in the dressing room? Big advocate for dressing room. I
have. Okay, so I'll tell you the craziest places.
Okay, give me just 3.
Okay, so one is the Paul Smith dressing room.
Okay.
The pink building on Melrose.
Okay, you did that?
Yeah.
Wow, good for you. Just claimed her territory.
One would be probably over the handlebars on a jet ski in Malibu.
That's pretty cool.
In the middle of the ocean.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. Okay. And then the third one, which is out there.
Yeah.
You know the sample storage sheds on the Home Depot lot? Like when you're going to buy a storage shed for your like
yeah.
In one of those.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I know.
You can get arrested for that.
Well, it was nighttime and Home Depot was closed, but we basically were going to a birthday party.
So breaking and entering, those are actually really good. I didn't know that you were a little freak like that. See, that just goes to show that not all of the cute, perfect, innocent looking girls just want to be cutely made love to. Sometimes they just want to get banged out in the Home Depot woodshed after hours.
You don't even have to own a home.
All right, next.
Please her before you do.
Okay, I like that.
Because so many times, you know, guys can come within 4 thrusts or sometimes 20 minutes. But regardless, I think with foreplay and communication, all the things we've discussed will help enhance your capabilities of pleasing her. Ooh. But there's nothing worse than when a guy comes and it's like, you didn't even get... like, wow, that was fun. Wow, that was really great.
Yeah, and he's asking like, oh, did you enjoy that? Yeah. Did you come? And you're like, dude, what do you think?
Yeah. And it's also super hot and like sexy when a guy wants to make sure you come and enjoy yourself before they do. Because obviously it's so much easier for a guy to get off.
Yeah, totally.
So when they take the time and commitment to making sure you enjoy yourself, it makes you go up so many levels in her book. And also she'll talk about you to her friends.
That is the bread and butter right there, gentlemen. If you're listening, you want her to tell her friends about how fantastic you are in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And what better way to do that than to make sure that you've taken care of her before she's taking care of you?
1,000%. You couldn't say it better. Anytime that I've ever talked about a guy to my friends, it's because he really took the time and commitment to please me before getting off himself. And then like obviously the guys that just, you know, throw you on the bed, insert, and 5 thrusts, they come. Yeah. It's like,
I'm not ever obviously going to speak.
You're like, what are we
girl,
doing?
guess what? Okay, next would be, I would say, keep an open mind when it comes to trying new positions, trying new locations, and also feeling comfortable to introduce sex toys into the bedroom. I think a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys think that if the female wants to use sex toys, it's because it's a lack of their performance. But that
totally disagree.
Yeah, like you're secure and you're confident with yourself, so like you aren't intimidated when a girl's like, let's go to Hustlers and go shopping. But some men are like, what, am I not good enough? Personally, I haven't been put in that situation, but I've had girlfriends tell me that they brought up the idea to their partners or boyfriends, and they kind of got like insulted because they thought it meant they weren't performing well. So I think keep an open mind when it comes to, you know, sex, whether it's different positions, different role play, lingerie, sex toys, different lubes, flavored lubes, whipped cream, ice in your mouth. Just keep an open mind and don't knock anything until you at least try it. I hate those people that are like, no, I don't like that, and they've never tried it.
I feel like it just helps elevate the experience. Like, I love the idea of bringing a toy like into the dynamic, because if it helps you, then it helps me.
Totally.
Like, it's a win-win.
Work smarter, not harder.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to. Like, yeah, work smarter, not harder. Literally.
I think that was pretty much it. I mean, you know, I obviously could go on and on, but I think, you know, I'd rather give quality over quantity. Like, those are really key ones that I myself want when I'm hooking up with someone. I think the last thing would be that a lot of people build up to the act, and once they're done, then it's done. It's like, no, like, get the towel, like the aftercare, like, be a gentleman and have good like aftercare for the situation. A lot of guys are just
throw on their
and it's like she's just laying and she's just it's like, what women want, well, she's just laying there. It's like, what a jerk. So I think it's like, it's not, don't be selfish and think just about the before and the foreplay and the sex, and also like the after.
Think of the whole entire experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. With that being said, I think we kind of hit all the key points.
I think we did.
Give it up for Kristina Kane. I think you should actually look into like sex therapy. You'd be a really good counselor. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up season 2, episode 4 of What Women Want in Bed. I'm your host, Troy Osterberg, and sitting beside me is
Kristina Kane.
What's your favorite sex position?
Doggy style.
I like reverse cowgirl. If you guys have any questions or scenarios that you would like me to touch on in any future episodes, please email the link down below, post it in the description. I love you, I love you, I love you. I hope that you've slammed your Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, or Sauvignon Blanc right now. I hope that you're tipsy. I hope that you got a lot of good stuff out of this SEXTALK.
I think you killed it, and I think we killed it.
I think we killed it. And I think that we are going to kill it once these cameras are off and the lights are off. Don't worry, I will light a candle. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to Troy Talks a Lot. Go make some sweet love. Always use protection.
Period.
I love you guys. We'll talk soon. Peace.
Period. Always wear protection.